We turn now to Bruce Fein. He's a constitutional lawyer, a former Associate Deputy Attorney General, and former General Counsel for the Federal Communications Commission. Sir, thank you so much for your time today. So Trump is mired in legal peril. An indictment in the Stormy Daniels case could be imminent. This rally obviously happening in a state that plays to his base to drum up support. But why Waco now? It actually comes around a dark time in the city's history.
Well, you'd have to ask Mr. Trump. I believe that's where his base of support is. If he tried to hold a rally in Manhattan, I don't think anyone would show up. When there was an earlier statement by the president or former president that last Tuesday would be the day of the indictment, and he summoned everyone to come out and rally in his support. The opponents to Trump outnumbered his supporters like 100 to 1. So he's choosing a very convenient forum for himself. Where he thinks he'll be able to create an optic that looks like he has a huge amount of support, even though it dramatically underestimates what the sentiment is elsewhere outside of Texas.
Let's talk about some of the legal woes he faces. So a federal judge ruled that Mark Meadows and other top aides must testify before a grand jury investigating the Capitol riot, rejecting claims of executive privilege. How likely do you think an appeal is going to be there? And of all the 4 active investigations against Mr. Trump, which has the most likelihood of bringing an indictment?
Well, of all of the investigations, the one that's most serious, and I do think that will eventuate in an indictment, but maybe not the most likely one, is the suspected insurrection that Mr. Trump incited on January 6th. And that's why these executive privilege claims are important, because it shows the intent of Mr. Trump speaking to his mob before they entered the Capitol and doing nothing for almost 2 hours while he witnessed on television the violence trying to stop Mike Pence from counting electoral votes. If he gets convicted on that count, it automatically disqualifies him for 2024. But I do believe that another privilege that was knocked away by courts, namely attorney-client privilege, to require Mr. Trump's lawyers at Mar-a-Lago to explain exactly what Trump told them to possibly conceal or obliterate presidential documents, is almost certainly, as much as the hush money, going to result in an indictment.
Do you think an indictment in the Stormy Daniels case will come imminently?
Yes, I do believe it will become next week. Obviously, the Manhattan district attorney doesn't want to make it appear like he's been intimidated and gotten cold feet. But he also wants to make clear that he's going to prepare for the potential violence that Mr. Trump has promised, death and destruction, when the indictment is forthcoming.
Only about 30 seconds left, sir. Trump, asserts he's the target of a witch hunt. But isn't that true to a degree? Because isn't much of this politically motivated? Joe Biden also had classified documents in his home. Hillary Clinton misrepresented payments for opposition research, violating campaign finance law. Barack Obama fined grossly for violating federal disclosure laws. None charged with a crime. Is there a different standard at play?
No, I think the difference is there's no potential of concealment and destruction of documents. If all that happened was an accident that these classified documents ended up in Mar-a-Lago, he's not going to be charged. But it's quite different when you obstruct justice, which is the crime under investigation, not simply taking the documents away.
All right. Well, he is certainly dominating the news cycle once again. Bruce Fein, we will leave it there. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.